I'd like to ask you, Bronson Hill, what is the biggest risk?
So I think there's a lot of risks, and I think sometimes we see risks and we don't. We tend to have inaction. So I think inaction is probably the biggest risk for that I see for most people. I've had now close to 1,500 conversations with individual investors, and I just see analysis paralysis is real. We get busy, we get stuff going on, we don't take action, and all of a sudden we're like, well, where's gosh, I really I missed out on this, I missed out on that, and it's not that we have to take massive action and go from 0% invested into alternative deals to all of a sudden I'm 100% invested. It's just taking small steps and saying, one of my things that I tell people is, um, against analysis paralysis is, go to meetups, give yourself a time frame. Okay, in the next 2 months, I'm going to go to this many meetups. I'm going to, get on deal sponsor lists. We have our own deals that we do. We have people connect, and if anyone wants to reach out and get on our list and hear about our deals, they can do that at Bronson Equity. And what happens is as you do that, then you give yourself a time frame. You analyze, 5 to 10 deals, and you say, okay, I've given myself 60 days, and I'm going to invest in 1 or 2 deals. And you just do it, and you say, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to choose, and it's probably going to go just fine. And the big thing we have to get over is the fear of making a mistake, or that we're going to do it perfectly. Perfection really is a myth. Like there's no way. It's all about learning, and so a lot of times we learn even when we don't do things perfectly. And so I think really the biggest risk that I see is just inaction. It's just not actually taking the steps. For 8 years or 6 or 8 years, I went to meetups and didn't do anything. I mean, I had my one rental, but I didn't do any action. And it wasn't until I actually made the decision that I'm actually going to change my life. And there was a point I remember um, where I had said, I'm in my job and I want to leave my job in 3 years. And I just made that decision. I'm just going to do it. And Tony Robbins has this quote. He says, "It's in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped." It's in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. And so in that moment, my destiny started to shift. And I was able to do it in 3 years. I was able to leave my full-time, great 200K a year job because I had made a decision that I was going to really just do whatever it took. And I was working hard, I was hustling, but I knew it was a season. And I think for a lot of people, and it doesn't mean you had to do it the way I did it, where you had to be fully active and raising big money and all this stuff. But there's a lot of people that make a lot of money and there's a money problem. And it's not that I don't have money, it's that I have money, I don't know what to do with it. Right. So that's a problem. So, there's ways you can educate yourself and really find ways to take action. So I think that's the biggest risk is inaction.